When you first auditioned all these people, like for the original, the original pilot, did you know that they had singing abilities? Because they're all like pop stars. This is like a real.
I think the only
incredible.
person who sang was Ashley, and then KJ played the guitar.
Right.
But I don't think anyone else sang.
Wow.
So it was we asked, I think, but yeah, we didn't know there'd be that much singing.
Yeah. What other secret talents do we have on stage? Like, can someone juggle? Like, are there juggling abilities? Or Luke, you can juggle?
A little bit. Oh, that's wonderful. It took me a while, but next time I'm bringing it.
Like magic tricks? Okay, cool. Greg, you've done musical episodes before, unlike The Flash. What did you think when Roberto came to you with this idea? Were you excited? Were you wary? What did you sort of think of it?
I love a good musical episode, so you don't have to convince me. I loved his take on it too, just the fact of doing Carrie, which was, not incredibly well received when it first premiered, but he had a love for it, and it really just fit so well with the characters and the storylines they were doing, and I think it's sort of given its due with the show, which is what's also so nice if you love musical theater.
Yeah. And for the cast, what was this like? Because you not only would have to learn your lines and blocking for direction, but you had to learn choreography, you had to learn the score. What was that like to shoot?
Terrifying. I'm not musical.
It was really hard. The choreography was the most challenging part for me. Juggling the songs was difficult, but we all came to. Yeah, it was nice.
I think it was really fun. I had a blast doing it. I think it was like a really fun and rewarding thing to do, especially after 17 episodes of Riverdale, to like kind of stop that for a minute and do this like kind of crazy, elated version of Riverdale where we all get to sing and dance, which are things that we like to do anyways. It was really fun for us. And all of us came together and got to work together for the first time in a while, which was really fun.
Was there one number that was the hardest one to sort of pull off? Because that one in the dressing room looks like a single shot.
I'm not in this thing, but I gotta tell you, when I watched that, that's photographed. That's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
That's the way you want that stuff to come down.
Yeah.
And that's these guys all doing it in real time on the day, and Jason being able to.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Was that the hardest one for you guys?
We have different opinions.
The night we won't forget, the one where we're...
The ending one.
Yeah,
we're in the dressing room.
But even not
I think
that,
the chair
suck
one
at
was
dancing,
hard.
so the whole thing.
We were like on chairs.
We were
with you.
falling in the chair one.
We all really had to be in sync for that one, and I don't really know that we were.
No, you were great.
I don't think we were.
I love a chair dance, like Britney Spears, Stronger. Oh my God. Crazy. Your chair dancing is on par with her, I would say. It's wonderful. Can you walk around Vancouver normally?
No.
I mean, you can walk, you're gonna get stopped.
Okay.
The problem is that we're also always together,
Yeah.
so
Right.
it really, there's no question if it's us, you know?
Right.
It's like a redhead, a brunette, a blonde, a tall, dark-haired man. Like, this is all.
I can walk around
obvious.
Vancouver, and what's great is that people will get as close to me as Cole with their mouth open and say, "Are you?" If you're that close, it's not me.
What's been your wildest fan encounter so far? Have you had anyone yet, like, tattoo you on their bodies?
Oh, God.
Because that will probably happen. Luke, you probably had that happen. Luke, there are Dylan McKay tattoos out there.
For sure.
You know, it's funny you would pick that one, Tim, because I've seen a few.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've seen a few.
I have one. I'll show it later.
Yeah.
Tell them about the stamps. The stamps in Africa, right?
Oh, yeah. The other day, the crew had a jigsaw puzzle out of me, and they were putting it together on a big table. And Camille and I got to talking about stuff, and I showed her a picture of, I'm a postage stamp in Africa. Wow. If you send mail out of there, boys, Luke on that. I just never, that's crazy to me. Does that not sound crazy to you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you guys, for the Riverdale, the younger kids, have you guys had crazy experiences?
I mean, just the other day, I found myself in Vancouver going to Chipotle a lot, which is not out of the ordinary. But so I went there the other day, and this girl was opening the door for me, and she goes, and I was like, she's like, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. She goes, good luck with that. I don't know if she thought that I was like pretending to be me, but then she was like, okay.
She was saying good luck with the Chipotle.
Cole, you were kind of separate from the cast for the first half. I mean, you were at Southside, obviously. Did it feel at all like you were on a separate show? Like, did you miss being with the gang?
I was just glad to be away from him, to be honest. Like, finally. No, I thought the South Side and the elaboration of the South Side was a really good chance for the world to grow.
Yeah.
And it was a great time to see what Jughead's childhood might have looked like, something that he was very fond of. But it was also a great way to introduce the Serpents, which was a huge, and is still a huge part of season 2.
Yeah.
But it's nice because season 1, Riverdale kind of felt a little bit like a capsule, but with every episode, we realize the extent of the town is growing a little bigger and we're getting a little more depth. So I loved having the chance to be part of that lore building.
Yeah. And do you guys, Jughead and Betty have had such an up and down. This year especially has been like a real they're together, they're not together, they're back together. Do you guys have a favorite? Do you have a favorite Bughead moment from this season so far?
That's it? Go ahead.
Guys, I got like 2 hours of sleep last night. I don't know. What was that? I don't know. I think the.
Lily, I'm coming for your man.
All right. Yeah. Anyways.
Quite a declaration.
Yeah.
Wow. There is a moment, it's actually, without spoiling too much, I think my favorite moment is coming up in an episode. It's going to be a moment between Jughead, Betty, and Chick, which is, I think is probably my favorite Bughead moment of season 2.
Jughead's a badass in season 2. Just wait.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That to me?
I mean, we've seen a lot of dark Betty. I mean, she's gotten even darker this year. I loved my favorite moment so far this year was you with the lighter up at Chick's face, just being like, that was.
Actually, Roberto had originally written it as a feather.
It is true.
He had written it as me like tickling him with a feather, and I was like, people might perceive this in a strange way.
Yeah, so he.
So I was like, how about a lighter instead? And I guess.
And he saved the feather for Bughead.
Speaking of figuring out her sexuality, Madeleine, Cheryl has.
What a segue.
Cheryl obviously has had a realization about her own sexuality. What has that been like? What's the response been like? Because it did kind of, it's a surprise in some ways, but also it feels really right.
Right. I don't think it was a realization. I think that it is something she's known for a long time, and her mom has pushed down about her and hated about her, and it's made Cheryl hate herself because her mom doesn't love her. And it was a dark storyline to kind of reveal for her, but the response was overwhelming, and I feel so welcomed by that community, and I'm so happy to be able to bring that to light, and I think it's an important storyline to bring to television. Unfortunately, it's still happening, like parents not accepting their children, and it makes so much more sense when you see Cheryl and the way she acts towards people in season 1, and this angst that she's built up and this anger about not being loved by her mom, therefore not loving herself. And Tony's really helping her explore that love for herself, and I think it's a really beautiful and amazing relationship. TBD.
Yeah. And you were telling me backstage that you're best friends with Tony.
So Vanessa and I have been best friends for years, by the way. So everyone's like, your chemistry is amazing. I was like, she's my best friend. That's why.
That's so crazy. That's wonderful, though. Did you guys, Roberto, did you always know this was something you were going to pursue for Cheryl?
I think we had conversations about it early on. It was something that we talked, and when we introduced the character of Tony Topaz, we thought, oh, this is a bisexual character that kind of from the comic books, and we talked about it early on. It took a little while to get to the storyline, but I think, and the episode that you guys haven't seen, I think is really powerful. It's the one that airs this Wednesday, so please tune in and watch it live. But it's a powerful episode between Cheryl and Tony. So yeah, it is something we thought about for a while.
Yeah.
Nice to see it come to fruition.